sexy poppin', you beautiful humans. My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and this is Mama. Welcome to another episode of Sippin' the Tea, Quarantine, where we sip that tea, honey, and I guess what?
Build that tea. Oh, you left me hanging.
It's Monday, baby, and I left you hanging. My bad, my bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our guest today. We have one of the breakout stars for many, many seasons of Shahs of Sunset. She's also an entrepreneur. She is known globally, honey. I'm going to welcome Miss GG Golnesa, and I'm going to let you say your last name because you got the flavor, child.
I want to hear you say it first.
Gharachedaghi.
Okay, but don't say it with such a white, accent. Try to,
Here we go.
put some, flavor to the accent.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, it's Gharachedaghi.
Gharachedaghi.
Look at that.
Boom! Welcome, girl.
Everything, you just always got to unwhiten it.
I live for you already. I'm 100% there.
1,000%, okay? All right, girl, well, we're just going to dive right in. 2020 has been cray-cray, to say the very least, but we're going to switch it up. On the positive note, what are some positive takeaways for you so far with quarantine in 2020?
I mean, obviously, the only thing that's been positive is having a baby. It's been god awful other than that. And it's just been really amazing to know that you can have a baby during such a chaotic time, because that was hard, not being able to have my family with me, in the hospital and all that. It was tough. So that was the highlight, through the tough part.
That's to me is so crazy. I want to dig a little deeper into that because I'm you had a baby in a pandemic.
Yes.
Oh, cute.
You had a baby during a pandemic. What was your vibe in your body? Were you scared? You were meant to be a mom, and I can see that in all your posts, but I was what was that feeling of holy shit, this is happening, this world is chaos. What went through your mind?
You hear all these stories from women oh, I fell in love with him the second I saw the babe. That wasn't really the case for me. And I don't know if they're faking it to make it sound, or if something's wrong with me. And I started expressing that feeling to new moms. And they're like, no, it's a natural thing. It grows. Because within a split second, you see this creature. And it's yours, it's your child, but it's all a lot. So For me, honestly, the first time he put his hand around my finger and I saw it, I was like, this is mine. This is my baby. So that was it for me.
I love that.
I love how you keep it real because everyone has a different story, a different journey.
Right.
I'm glad that you're keeping it 100 because I'm pretty sure there's moms out there that do need to hear that, asking is that the same for me? Is there anybody else who experiences that? So congrats, girl.
Thank you, girl.
Okay, so we're gonna dive in now to Shahs of Sunset. Before that even happened, walk us through a small journey of your life and how that kind of end up moving into reality TV.
Yeah, how did Shahs just come through?
I think I probably have one of the funniest stories of how this haul came about for me. So back in the day, I had issues with drugs, no surprise, but I went through a lot. So I went through rehab. I did about 120 days of rehab and came out on the other side and did sober livings. And then I started seeing what a profit that was, sober living houses. So I decided to go to university. I went to LMU. I went and became certified as treating addicts and alcoholics with dual diagnosis. I sort of went that extra route because I thought it was interesting. Jaja, I can't play right now. I'm sorry, she's dead. So I was doing that, and then I decided to open a sober living house. So I have the sober living house. We got the beds ready. I got the licensing, insurance, everything on the house prepared. And I got beautiful brochures, website. And then all of a sudden, now mind you, this is when my mornings started at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. It wasn't I would wake up. I was drinking, partying the night before. So it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, my phone's ringing, and it says anonymous caller, right? And usually it would say restricted back like 11 years ago, right? So I'm thinking, oh my God, if something happened to my family in Iran, or is someone in jail? I had to answer. So I answer, hi, this is yada yada from Ryan Seacrest Productions. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And I hung up. Right? Wait, he calls back. Anonymous caller. I pick up, I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is such and such from Ryan Seacrest Productions. I'm calling because I was like, look, man, I'm not interested. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Stop fucking calling. I hang up. He calls back again. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, before you hang up, please. He goes, do you know? And he names this person. I'm like, wait, that's my friend. I'm like, yeah, who is this? He goes, I'm trying to tell you. This is Jesse from Ryan Seacrest Productions. And he's like, please don't hang up. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we've heard about you through, your friends and whatnot, and that you have an interesting lifestyle and whatnot. Can we come to your house with cameras and do like this audition interview on you? I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You could be a mass murderer. You think I'm gonna let you come to my house right now and bring cameras? No. I was like, where do you work? He gives me the address. I get one of my friends to come as backup. I walk in, it's the E building. There's the Kardashian pictures everywhere. I'm like, oh my God. I walk into the meeting. They say, you sold us on the conversation. That's it. Can you be part of this show?
Damn.
So it was not anything that I was, manifesting, or perhaps I somehow was, and I just didn't know. But, being in a circle of friends, that just happened to give my name, saying she's crazy, she's, not like typical Persian girls, that got me through the door, I guess.
I think that's why this show, one of my good girlfriends has been obsessed forever. I came in a little later and went right back to the beginning and caught up on everything. I think the success base of this show is because it lives in reality. It is a small group of friends that has grown apart, grown together, come back, left each other. And I think that makes it so connected to the audience. But I want to, obviously, having watched it, it's a lot, because this is real friends. How has that, everybody knows the highlights, everybody knows the good, the bad, the ugly. What's that been like for you over the whole process? Like, if you look back now, having just wrapped the season, what's that look like now? I mean, for me, I'd be like, holy shit, like, that's major.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I always thought my life should be on camera, because I was like always crazy, fighting, and just a ratchet ass little girl. But for it to actually happen, and for it to be now, 10 years later, it's really hard to put into words. Season 1 to season 2, the whole Persian community in every city around the US, they were protesting against our show. They were going to the city halls, and because they were so afraid of this culture that has so many hush-hushes amongst it culturally, for that to get exposed. So they were against it. They were like, let's not watch. They would all gather at one person's house to watch it, just to not give multiple ratings by watching it on their TVs. Now, those are those same people who are rushing after us on the street saying, oh my God, you've been my favorite since season 1. Girl, bye. No, I have not. You told me I was a ghetto Persian girl. No, you know what I mean? So for me, the ego trip is enough to like make me like, I love this shit.
Yeah. I love that though. It's beautiful to see the arc in that whole like 10 years, to be like, wow, you guys really did. I do remember reading and seeing, and it's kind of like, just by living in your truth and doing it, you in particular.
I mean, the LA Times did a whole story on us, the controversy, being the first, Persians to have their own reality show on an American network. It's like, imagine you being an African-American woman, right? Imagine way back when there weren't any shows about African-American. Imagine the first one. It's a big feeling to know that we did that. You know what I mean? It's awesome. History. Especially after 9/11. I mean, so it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, I know that I never say there's like regrets in life. But looking back and how you've had such an evolution of where you were then and where you're at now, is there anything that you would tell your younger self?
Man, I wouldn't be sitting right here talking to you guys right now if I hadn't made every mistake and every gain in life. You know what I mean? Um, it made me such a strong individual. I think some of the things that I was able to say, I'm confident enough in myself to go get a sperm donor and raise a child and feel like I can give him enough because I feel like I went through it all enough. So I don't regret any of it. It has been the most therapeutic process for me. I have changed in so many ways because of watching myself on TV and being like, oh my God, why am I like that? You know?
Yeah.
So, God, I love it all.
That's good to hear. That's so refreshing, you know? Like, I mean, especially like getting a chance to talk to you, which is always very different than what you see on Instagram and what you see like on TV. So just to see like your evolution and how far you've come and being now an entrepreneur. So girls, spill the tea, queen of cannabis. Tell us about your line and, you know, your decision to, you know, have a little Wüsah.
Actually, I have a big surprise in the making, and you know it's going to definitely be part of the next season. So I don't want to give away too much, but I am. You know, here's the thing: I have all of the healing components of cannabis. Everyone knows I have an autoimmune disease, and I use that to gain back my life and my sanity. So that is there. I have the healing aspect. Now I want to come out with a little bit more of a fun recreational side, and I just want to sell one side of just flower, you know, a couple jars, just like a hybrid and indica sativa, because people are always saying to me, you know, I want to know what flower you smoke, or what do you smoke for this inflammation or for this nausea, you know. So I'm doing specific strains of flower for healing wise, you know. So it's in the works right now, and I gotta think of some names for it. Is it weird to name a strain after your son? Like, oh, yeah.
I actually love that about you because I was looking at some of the comments and like you're so open about things and you're like, yeah, I still smoke. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't mean you're like holding the baby and having a chuff while you're holding the baby.
Exactly.
Hello.
Exactly. You know, that's what everyone, I didn't smoke at all when I was pregnant. And a lot of doctors say it's safe if you want to have a little bit, if you're extremely nauseous. Luckily, I didn't have any of those issues. So I didn't have the desire to. I didn't, you know, need to. So as soon as he came out, honey, oh my God, I couldn't have rolled it faster. I couldn't have rolled it faster. I mean, Snoop Dogg couldn't have done it that fast.
That's the tape. That's the cut right there. I love that.
I love how you just keep it so 100. Like, I love that so much. You truly just embody who you are. And that's so dope to see, because you can definitely get lost with having such success like you've had, being in the spotlight and, you know, forgetting yourself. So I love how you just keep it so real. So what's next for you? Are we going to expect something acting, girl? Like, what can we see from you?
You know, for many, many years, I wanted to just get into somehow telling my story, however that may be. And, you know, there's a conventional book form, writing a book. And I always felt the need of public contact with them. I enjoy public speaking when I'm speaking from heart and, you know, really getting into people. So I could see myself maybe, you know, doing stuff like that, you know, some empowerment seminars and just talking to women or people, men, whoever needs that extra lift, because I've been at the bottom, you know, I've gone there, I've touched it, I know what it feels like. And it's been a lot worse than what people see on this show. People see the nice side of it, the edited side of it on this show, what's approved to be, you know, seen by you guys. But, you know, I have those days and I have come out. Now I'm on this side and I'm a mommy now, you know. So I would love to somehow connect with people and tell that story.
I think that's really impressive. And I think where you can really fly with that is that there's a lot of people in that space, but there is not a lot of people that are actually really relatable and keep it at that 100 level. And I think watching you on the screen, talking to you now, talking to Tabassum about you. Like, there's no A, B, C, and D. It's like A all the time. You either like
But would you come? Would you come if I had a little talk?
I would, because
Give us
because you are like us. Ariane and I exactly the same.
2 tickets sold already.
Done, bitch.
No, we would definitely be there because we relate the same way of just, keeping it 1,000, having that story and being real, like knowing what it feels to be like at the bottom, and you have to bring yourself up and be your own damn cheerleader. So
yes,
definitely support you.
It's a crazy time. So Ari, you want to rapid fire some rapid fires? You want to get started?
We're gonna have some quick rapid fires. Okay. If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
3 people?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first would have to go to my first true love, Tupac. I met him once, but I was just too young to have the nerve to say, can you please have sex with me? So I would like to have him alive so I can ask him that after dinner. Can we please hook up? And then you could just go back to wherever you're hiding.
I agree. He's in hiding.
I thought he was in Cuba for the longest.
I still feel like he's alive, but people are like, girl, no, he's dead.
I don't think she needs to have 2 other people at that dinner, honey, because that dinner table's getting smacked. It's done. It's over. It's finished. It is done, sis. It is done. All right. I'm going to ask the next one, and I think I already know. It could be 2 things, or it might be just one. If your house was on fire, what's the first thing that you're getting? You
mean aside from my animals,
aside from my
child and all that?
Yeah, all the regular. What's the one thing aside from that? Aside from the obvious.
My weed.
She's like, I gotta keep it in a nice contained spot so it's easy to like pop it
Yeah,
up.
I would grab the weed because, it would keep me calm knowing that my house is on fire. I would just smoke with the house and we would just kind of have a moment and we'll have like an energetic smoky moment, so I think I would save the weed. Yeah.
That's the next season of Shahs of Sunset. She's just like, yeah, let's pop it.
Right.
Last question is craziest thing a fan's ever said to you.
Craziest thing what?
Fan has ever said to you.
This is one I can never ever forget, and I've told this story 50 million times because it was hilarious to me. It wasn't crazy, it was just shocking. So like I was having lunch at Century City Mall with my sister and my niece. Now, I'm always able to take pictures with people who want to take a picture with me. But when I'm eating, I feel like, they should have enough common sense to be like, let them eat for a second, right?
Totally.
It still happens. And I get up and I say, can I just have a minute, please? This lady, I'm with my niece now. And at this time, she was like, I don't know, 5 years old or something. And the lady comes up and she's like, can I have a picture with you and my kids and everything? Persian woman, mind you. So I'm like, oh yeah, can you just give me 1 minute? I'm just gonna eat my food and I'll up to take a picture. She looks down at my plate. She goes, I'll give you 10 minutes, I'll be back. I thanked her. I was like, oh, thank you. It's like, and I was like, wait, did I thank her for giving me 10 minutes to eat my food? Like, so to me, that was the most bizarre thing. I just think, people wouldn't get crazy with me because they know I'm nuts. So I think that was the highest level of crazy someone's ever gotten with me.
I think that's actually beautiful.
I really ate fast. I really did.
Let her eat. That's so fucking dope. I'm like,
if she was bold enough to give me 10 minutes, I was scared to see what would happen if I didn't eat. So I really did eat it fast.
You're like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Right? Like, where's the back door?
Well, let everybody know who is living under the rock, where they can follow you at, where they can get your cannabis and the whole 9.
They could follow me on Instagram. I'm extremely active and very, very political on my Instagram. GG underscore Golnesa, and Wüsah is living life, WUSAH, Wüsah.
That was that bomb plug right there. Where can everybody follow you, Mr. Matt?
You can follow me across the board, Matt Dillon 1983, and Miss Ariane.
You can follow
Where
me.
are the dogs? Where do you guys have your dogs?
They just escaped, girl.
This one's back here. Yeah, she sleep. She's like, Mom, good night.
If we were in the studio, it'd be like they'd be on our laps. It'd be a whole scenario.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but now it's like
Can we do this again in the studio when this whole thing is over?
when it's over, 100%.
Can I bring Jaja?
Yes.
I'm there.
Yes. So once we can get through fucking COVID, so we're praying through 2021. Hopefully the studio will be open. We're gonna put it out there. I'm gonna manifest it. 2021 is the year.
Woo.
Let's do it.
Well, guys, you can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew. And until next week, same time, same place, we'll catch you guys up sipping the tea, quarantine.
Yes.